we leave Russia and we travel across Europe to Spain for the next round of the Grand Prix 4 Offline Championship 2017 season, the 5th round of the season at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, the third of 10 circuits that are featured in every season of the OC. Of course, the circuit known as a winter testing facility in real life and of course in the OC, a track located within the Catalan region of Spain, specifically in the region's capital, Barcelona. Previous winners here have included, we've got Warnella winning here, Evan Byrne, James Willows that is. Joseph Willows actually not won here before. We've got Jay McKenzie, Volker, Quark winning here in 2014. I remember what a race that was. Last round of course won by Joseph Willows in Russia. So far Ferrari have won the first 3 of the 4 races that we've had this season, with Armand Carlet winning for Red Bull in the first round in Australia. Second round was Ferrari, third was Ferrari, fourth Ferrari. Can Ferrari make it 4 out of 5 and can they win the 5th round of the season? That record set by Nicholas Gall back in 2009 because those cars were insane during that year. The medium tyres are the tyres that we'll be using for this race. Driver of the day from the last round is Rick Yan, of course, who took a pretty impressive 2nd place for the Pink Panthers. So, the starting grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. On the front row, we have Will Nella for Mercedes and Joseph Willows for Ferrari in what was a wet qualifying session, unusual for Spain. Second row, Nicholas Gall for Red Bull, Evan Byrne, fantastic qualifying performance, in 4th position. On the third row, Volker and Armand Carr for Ferrari and Red Bull. They were quite far off the pace, although the circuit did get slightly drier, even though it was wet, during the end of the qualifying. Roland Boyce in 7th, Jamie McKenzie in 8th on the 4th row of the grid. 5th row, Michael Mocho and Turavi now Tiranen, who was quite a bit off in Q3, 5 seconds off in the wet. Julius Sanders in 11th, George Roque in 12th for Williams and for Haas. On the 7th row we have Roberto Gamba and Rick Yan, not the best qualifier from him considering obviously his performance last time out in Russia. On the 8th row of the grid, Etienne Jones, a good qualifying by him, and Paolino Tomaselli for Sauber. On the 9th row of the grid we have Oliver Glazebrook and Franco Gamba for McLaren and Toro Rosso, not the qualifying that either would have wanted, particularly not with Franco Gamba with the way he's performed recently. Joel Hutter 19th, Franco Lopez in 20th position. The last row of the grid we have Nicolas Pascali and Felix Sontag. Unfortunately, Sauber always seem to have one car that's always on the back row of the grid at some point. But the race, 0% chance of rain. It will be a hot and sunny day. No surprise there, to be honest. It rarely ever rains in Spain. I can't remember last time it rained. Well, in real life, we all know when that was. 1996, but in the OC, I can't honestly remember off the top of my head. But anyway, enough of me blabbing on. The 5 lights are about to come on for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we're underway. And who is going to get the jump into the first corner? Nella's made a pretty good start. Willows hasn't made a good start at all. And Galler's passed him already as they head towards turn 1. Galler's just about on the inside. Does he make it stick? No, he's way off, although Nella does go a little bit wide, but does keep P1 there. He's got a lot of fuel, does Will Nella. That will be very interesting to see how he does with that. So at the moment, it's a good start for Nella, for Gall. Evan Byrne is nowhere to be seen from 4th place. He's made a god-awful start. He's down to 9th. Tomaselli's up to 10th somehow. How they made... Wow. Let's have a look at the starts again from the replay. Evan Byrne. So he didn't make the greatest starts. He dropped behind the Ferrari there. And he just gets absolutely swamped by everyone. Oh my word. Drops all the way down to 9th position. That is not the start Evan Byrne would have wanted at all. And he's got, and Jashenko's got a light car as well. Let's have a look at the start from Tomaselli's point of view. He got up 6 places, so it's quite funny. Byrne went down, well, he went down 5. And Tomaselli went up 6. So Tomaselli just getting through past the Haas there. Just sees the gap on the inside, goes for it, goes past the Renault, and goes past the Alpine. I thought he was going to go for Byrne there, but he didn't. But what a start that is for Tomaselli. Nella leads, but he's got Gall all over his chuff. The Ferraris right behind each other. Carr trying to make a move on McKenzie for P5. Doesn't make it stick. Mocho and Evan Byrne there battling. Anderson trying to get past Tomaselli there. Doesn't make it stick. He's on the wrong side for the right-hander. He's holding up this massive train of cars. He might lose a place now. Turner if he's not careful. Now Turner's on the inside, and he's not done it. I thought he had. He hasn't made the move stick. So now, as we're coming onto the front straight, Willow's trying to hold off Volker for 3rd position. Nella leading, but Gall right on his tail. Now Volker on the inside as he heads towards turn 1. Does he make it stick? It's a long run. to the first corner, and he doesn't make it stick. Meanwhile, Carr has got past Mackenzie behind him and up into 5th position. Tomaselli still in 10th as there's a few battles going on. Roberto Gamma being overtaken. There, Roque going past the man there, going very wide and just about making the move stick. Although Franco Lopez is in the pits and there was another car in as well. It's Felix Sontag. So it's been a pretty disastrous season for Sontag so far. And of course these two I think were starting near the back. So something's clearly happened between the two. So I need to have a look at a replay and see what's happened between those two drivers, but not the start that Lopez or Sontag would have wanted. It's going to be a long road to recovery from there, and Sontag seemingly waiting a while while he has to wait for Lopez to go by, obviously. Wow, that was a very, very delayed stop. I think nearly 18 seconds that was. So what happened between the two as they come to the left-hander? And the answer is, well, Lopez just uses Sontag as a brake. That's what happened, and so he made it through. So this was Carr, who is trying to battle with the two Ferraris. Oh, he's launched it on the inside of Volker. Is he going to get past both Ferraris in one corner? No, he doesn't. Wow, I thought he was honestly going to absolutely get past both there. He doesn't. Nella, despite having very heavy fuel, sets the fastest lap of the race. That shows he's got decent pace in that car, despite the heavy fuel, even though Gals is definitely lighter. Here comes Anderson on the back of Tomaselli, coming down the front straight. Clearly got more speed in that Williams. He's on the inside, in towards turn 1, and he's up into the points. It's not been a good start for Julius Anderson. He's not scored a point yet this season. He's had a lot of bad luck in the first 4 races of the season. At the moment he's doing well, but mainly because the strategies for him have been pretty terrible. That's the reason why he's been doing so badly. Franco Gamma trying to get past one of the Manners there. Nella still leading. Nella and Gal have got a bit of a gap to the Ferraris, although Willows is heavy. Oh, well, that's why Willows' fuel is much heavier than anyone else. Look at that. He's got 10 laps more fuel than Nella does. So no wonder he's struggling. I mean, I don't know how he's going to hold that position. As I think that was Carl that just locked up there. I think into the corner. That was very. Would it look like Willows might have done, but I think Carr just stopped running into the back of him. So he's clearly quicker. Volker sticking behind Carr because he'll hope that Willows might make a mistake, and then he'll get past him as well. Gallows on the back of Nella coming down the front straight, heading towards turn 1. I don't think he's quite in the slipstream or the split stream as they come towards the first corner, as Gallows clearly not close enough there, so he's got to wait. There's not that many overtaking spots as Willows makes a little mistake there into turn 1, does just about enough to recover it and stays ahead of Carr for the time being, but Carr is all over the back of him, and so is Volker waiting to take his opportunity. Carr can't make it stick there, and he's got to wait for longer. So Byrne is up into 8th place now. Turner is going around the outside of Tomaselli, and he's done it, and oh, Jan's stuck through as well, and wow, Tomaselli is about to lose 3 places possibly if Roberto Gamma can make it through as well, and he has. Wow. We need to have a look at a replay of that. I don't think I've really ever seen cars going around the outside of turn 3. So he tried it around the inside there. Now turn didn't work. Tomaselli got a really terrible run out of the corner. I think he made a slight mistake, and now Turner went around the outside like your favourite Eminem song and makes it stick. And so did Rick Yan. He snuck through as well, and eventually Roberto Gamma went around the outside as well. So there we are. So we're looking at it from Rick Yan's point of view, so you can see just the slight mistake that Tomaselli had made there, and he's sticking behind Tomaselli, and so he sees now Turner go by and thinks, you know what, I'll get past too, because Tomaselli just backed off for some reason. I guess he just wanted to let the faster cars go through, but Tomaselli has got a lot of fuel. That's probably why he's dropped down after he had such a good start. But Roberto Gamma made it through, and now Glazebrook could make it through as well, as here is Glazebrook. Does he make that move? And the answer is, there's a bit of contact between the two, and there's about 4 or 5 touches there, but still doesn't make it through, does Glazebrook, as Roque tries to slip through as well. He can't do it either. We're back to Carr and Willows, who is still battling, and I don't know what the gap is up front between Gal and Willows, but I imagine it's probably quite a few seconds now, because Willows is holding over. Oh, there's a car off at turn 1. That is Jones, who's spun off. I don't know if it's of his own making or if he's had contact. He was battling with the Toro Rosso there, Franco Gamma, and I don't know if there was contact or not. Let's have a look from Franco Gamma's point of view. He was trying to get on the inside. There was nearly contact. Nope. Just loses it by himself. So no contact there between Gamba and Jones. But Jones now drops down to 20th position. Car is going to once again try it through turn 4. Will he make it stick this time? The answer is, I think he might do it. Yes, he has, because Willers has gone wide, and that's allowed Car through. Volker can't make it through there, so he's going to have to wait until the back straight or the front straight, because those are the main 2 overtaking spots. Here was the overtake from Car's POV, and that finally make it stick through there. I mean, if you could do it right, then you can actually make the move stick through there. Roke now trying to get past Tomaselli, and can't make it stick there. He's on the wrong side. Hutter is close behind as well. So far, not been the greatest season for Haas. Obviously, they have scored points. Not in the same race though. Roke finishing 6th and Hutter finishing 10th as Tomaselli makes yet another mistake. And Roke sneaks through there. Look at that, just sneaks through on the inside there as he took advantage of Tomaselli's area. He's really struggling on those tyres. It's a shame he made such a good start, and only if he had lighter fuel he could have made something of this race. It's a shame, but there we go. So Roke up to P15. Hutter, Franco Gamba's still stuck behind. Gamba's been stuck there since the start of the race. He's been stuck at the back. As we're looking at Hutter now on the inside of Tomaselli into turn 1. And does he make it stick? I would imagine he does. And yep, pretty easy. And now Franco Gamba is all over the back of Tomaselli. So Tomaselli could end up finishing plumb last of this race. He's just going down the order like a stone. Here's Gal, who's now close back up to the back of Will Nella. Will he make the move on Nella coming through? He's right behind him. And oh no, he's locked up there. I thought he'd made a bit of contact there, but has to back off, recharge, and he'll try and do it again. Volker all over the back of Willows, can't make a stick there, so he's going to wait. So what's the gap? Car's 4.5 seconds off of Gal, and he's not actually that far away, to be honest. And I think he could easily catch up here, because Nella obviously is not the quickest car out on track. Gal is clearly quicker than he is, but he can't get through. So far as Gamba tries it on Tomaselli, doesn't make it stick, and now Pascali, the 3 Italians here, trying to battle with each other. Let's hope they don't take each other out. Now here is Volker on the inside of, well, attempted to get to his car. Has actually just set the fastest lap of the race, so that proves his pace. So I think Carr could easily be in with a chance of battling for the lead here soon, if Nella and Gal, or if Gal doesn't get past Nella very quickly. Jan on the inside of Anderson, who goes off the track, and he does make it through up into 10th position. So good move there by Rick Jan. As there is Hutter and Roke close behind each other. Gamba tries, he goes left, right, but doesn't make it stick. So now he's going to have to wait. Well, he could try and do it around turn 4. Not seen many overtaking moves done there, but he could do it if he's got the balls. So as he's going to make a move on the inside. Nope, doesn't do it there. So his next opportunity is on the back straight, where we're looking at Gal and Nella. So Gal wasn't close enough there. Volker now going to try out Willows once again. And nope, still doesn't do it. They have to wait a few more corners. Bekenti there's just kind of on doing his own race at the moment, so he's not closing up to the Ferrari, so I would imagine he's probably got heavy fuel as well. So, but both Mercedes are trying something here. So Nella and Gal coming through the final chicane, which in my opinion is the worst corner added onto this track. It annoys me to this day. Gambas tries it on Tomaselli and still can't do it. And so there we go, he's going to have to wait until the front straight to make it there. So he comes through the long right-hander, and I imagine it's probably an eternity for Gamba, because Tomaselli's car is so slow, he can't make it stick. So Gallo's not done it into turn 1, he's not close enough. Willows, he's made an error there. And I thought Volker might try it around the outside like now Tyrrell did, but he doesn't. But Willows is clearly also struggling on his tyres. So I wonder if we'll see an accident there. Because we've seen a few cars run wide there, and obviously if you get too much on that Astra, I imagine that could spell the race. As there's the marshal who has been waving the green flags at the start. I think you can. I think you've done your job well there, mate, but I think you're overdoing it, to be honest. So there we go. Car is in 3rd. He's closing up to the front too. It's about, I think, 2 seconds it says there. Gamba still hasn't got past Tomaselli. This must be infuriating for him. Pascal is just watching in the background, these two fighting with each other, but not as Tomaselli locks up there. And oh, speaking of locking up, Jan goes wide and goes off track, but recovers, but stays in 10th position. He was right behind Mocho and the Toro Rosso. He tried to make it through. He was going to probably try and attempt to make it through the next corner, but he goes wide, caught in Mocho's dirty air, and goes onto the gravel. It's lucky he didn't spin that. I thought he was going to spin it, but he didn't. So he recovers, but has lost a lot of time. Volker still not got past Willows yet. Mackenzie just again hanging there in the background. Here's now Turin closing up to the back of Anderson in the Williams. And now Turin's had a decent start to the season, as Hutter is overtaking his teammate Roke and moves up into 15th position. So as now Frankie Gamber's on the inside, surely this must be the move done for Frankie Gamber here. No, it still isn't. He still sticks behind him. So he's got to wait another lap. It must be killing his race, this, because he just can't get past him. Car is definitely closing. He really is now on the back of Gal and Nella, and particularly with Nella going slow here, that's going to back them up even more. As Gal has come into the pits, so he's going to try and do, well, I would imagine, I suppose, the undercut. But I suppose it always does depend where he comes out in the traffic, as Bernard's come in as well. So where does he come out? He's dropped down to 10th. Is he going to drop out of the points? Yes, he does. 12th down to 14th. As there's cars trying to overtake each other. There's Hutter on the inside of the McLaren of Glazebrook, I think it was. Gal comes out in 15th. He's coming out on the back of this traffic, which I don't think he would really like. But at least he's come out ahead of these two, though. Imagine if he came up behind these two, with Gamber not being able to get past Tomaselli. So Byrne, however, has also come out behind traffic, so that he needs to come out ahead of this group of cars. And Tomaselli's made once again another error, so Byrne might be in big trouble here with these guys fighting all over each other. Tomaselli making yet another error. How many has he done this race? But Frank Gabber still can't get past him, no matter what mistake he makes. So he did try and go around the outside of Gabber, but then he made contact with the back of his car. Willows and Volker still once again battling. Volker still can't get past Willows here. I mean, it's not easy to overtake here. There's not that many overtaking spots, but still not being made easy. I suppose it might be because of these cars. Anderson defending the Turin now, as here is Jan, who has caught up to the back of Mocho and passed him. So this was where he was originally going to do it a few laps ago. So does he swap to the inside? Yep. And makes it stick. We've seen many people try moves there, but not actually completing them. So fair play to Jan. He's actually managed to do it. And oh, Tomaselli goes off on his own accord. He's made another mistake. That's about the 7th he's made this race. There was no contact, and there we go. Just locks the tyres, and yeah, tyres are dead, Bono. Tyres must be. I mean, I don't know how. He might as well just have a problem going to the pits, because it's not doing him any favours. And he's dropped now down to 20th position. He's at the back, so I don't see what he's going to achieve from this one. I mean, he did well at the start, got into 10th then, but there we are. As Volker yet again tries it. Now Gal tries it on Roke. Oh, there's nearly contact there, as they still battle. Roke still coming alongside. Oh no! And there it is, the first incident. Roke and Gal out of this race, and Gal, he's not going to be happy at all. Well, with Roke, he's certainly not going to be happy with Roke either, but he's also not going to be happy at the fact he came up behind this traffic, so he's out of this race, and so Roke as well. Here is the replay. So Gal was trying it on the inside. Roke really not. Oh, I don't know how there wasn't more contact there. Roke went wide, and Roke tried to come back on the inside. I think he went on that curve. That's what did it, and then caught Gal's car. So let's have a look at it from his point of view. So he goes wide there, and does he clip the curve? Yes, he does. He clips the curve. He tries to steer left all the way, but unfortunately, Gal was not lifting off. Never lift. And there was Roke flying in the air, imagining probably him being at the water park, probably. But anyway, Gal and Roke out of this race on lap 14 of the race. No, lap 16, sorry. But, I mean, I don't know really what to say about that one. I mean, had Roke not gone on the curb, I think an incident would have been avoided. Gal was not going to lift off, and I understand why. So, let's see what the stewards have to say about that one, as the marshal still braving it out there, waving his flag on the corner. But so that was a pretty spectacular crash. We'll look at it again for another view. So I mean, Gal was on the inside. I think he was entitled to think that he'd made the mistake. I don't think he expected Roke to be on the inside there. So the incident between those two will be under investigation. So we'll see what the stewards say about that one then. I'm not sure. A racing incident maybe. I don't know. We'll see what they say. Florian Volker now is going to try and jump Willows. He's been stuck behind him for the entire of the race so far, so he's going to want to try and get ahead of him. And if he doesn't, the Ferrari strategists will be fired. But it never seems to change. They always seem to have bad strategists, no matter who they have in the team. But Volker comes out of the pits. He's behind Glazebrook. If he, would he kind of ahead of Franco Gamba, because that will be important, because he was stuck behind Tomaselli for so long. And so if he comes out, if he's in clear air, then that's good for him. And yes, he does, because Gamba's just coming down the straight now. So Volker, this is important for him. He's coming out in clear air. There's no cars anywhere near, as Hutter is all over the back of Anderson. And Hutter's having a pretty good race so far. He's going to be pitting in a few laps' time. Meanwhile, Carr is behind Nella, so obviously Carr's now trying his way to get past Will Nella, trying to do what Gal failed to do. So it looks like it's going to be a battle probably between Nella and Carr now for the race win. I don't think the Ferraris are really in it because, well, because of Willow's being a steam train. Here is Jones, who locks up, goes wide, and that allows Byrne through. Byrne still hasn't got past Jones. He's been behind him for quite a few laps now, so that's really affected his race as well. So not good for Byrne, but at least he's finally got past Jones. So there we are. So there's Jones, goes wide, and boom. So Willow's on his own in third. He's got no one anywhere near him, either in front of him or behind him, because Mackenzie's not closing up to him. Moitian in P5. The moment defending from Riccian in P6. So as they come through, and he tries it on the inside there, Jan. I haven't seen many people trying to make a move there, but it's not going to work. And oh, Nella's off! And Carr's got by, and I wonder if there was contact made. So let's see. Carr right behind. He was actually pitting this lap, as a matter of fact, Carr, and yet there was. Gives a kind of BTCC type tap out the way, and so there we are. So Carr, maybe doing that as a bit of a kind of taunting him, I guess. Showing what he's got. So he comes in now. Of course, Nella will be pitting a lot later on. So Nella will have clear air now. So he needs to take advantage of this because Willers clearly hasn't got the pace that he has. I mean, Carr is the main threat to Nella at the moment. So I don't know if Nella's going to be doing the one stop or not. I mean, we know Willers isn't. He's clearly we know Willers is doing a one stop, I should say. Nella touch and go, but I think it would be. I don't think he'd be the favourite for the win, as Moitian does come past him, I should say. Carr doesn't come out ahead of him, and he needed to, because that was important for him, as Jones is off, and he was battling with Franco Lopez, who's trying to recover the order, and yep, there was contact between the two there as well. Lopez goes through. Here is Joel Hutter, who's having a great race for Haas. He's right behind the Sauber of Roberto Gamba. He's on the inside. Look at the speed of the Ferrari engine there, coming towards turn 1. Goes past him easy as he's pitting this lap, as a matter of fact, as Volker sets the fastest lap of the race. So that proves the pace that he's got when he's not stuck behind his teammate and on fresher tyres, well, and also in clear air as well. So it's looking pretty good for him as well. He can easily jump Willows, who is 9 seconds behind Nella, so that proves the pace. Now Volker is coming into some traffic, which is going to be important. He needs to get past it ASAP. So he's now trying to pass Glazebrook for 10th, and he tries to do it on the inside, doesn't make it stick there. So as he comes through turns 1, 2 and 3, Byrne down to 15. Unfortunately for Byrne, it's gone from bad to worse. Had a great qualifying, terrible start, and the strategy so far has not worked for him. Volker trying it once again into turn 4, doesn't make it stick there either. Willow's now in P2 at the moment. He's got a car close behind him. I don't think it's I didn't see who was in third there, but I don't think it that car. Here is Carr, who is right behind Roland Moichin. He's probably going to be a little bit annoyed. Carr. He would have wanted to come out ahead of him, but unfortunately he hasn't. As Hutter looks up and makes a bit of a mistake there, but stays on the road. And Carr has got past because Moichin has locked up, coming into the left-hander there. So I don't think there was contact between the two, was there? Nope. And Moichin's struggling on those tyres. It looks like he might be doing the one or the two. I just saw briefly that someone set the fastest lap. I think this is Felix Sontag, who's all over the back of Willows. Probably he must have fresher tyres, Sontag. That's probably how quick he is. Volker's going to try it once again on Glazebrook into turn 1. Does he make it stick now? The answer is yes. He's now on the right line. No, he doesn't. He still can't make it stick there either. So, although Glazebrook, oh no, never mind. Glazebrook's gone wide, and Volker's through up into 10th position. So as we look at the onboard from Glazebrook coming through the right-hander, as he just gets on the AstroTurf there, gets on the green stuff. You need to stay on the the asphalt. Although the green stuff is something that Volker, as we know, doesn't particularly like. I've no idea why. Don't know why he doesn't like green. But anyway, Roberto Gamba's in the pits. Glazebrook's teammate for McLaren. 7.6 seconds. And Roker's received a 5-place grid penalty for causing the incident with Gal. So that is going to be for the next race in Monaco, which... yeah, so we'll see how that goes for Roke there. But, of course, Monaco's a completely different kettle of fish compared to Spain, that is, circuit-wise. Here is Volker on the back of Anderson in the Williams. Does he make it stick? No. So, as we look at Hutter, who's in 13th, look at the rest of the order. There's Thomas Eddy in 17th. I don't think he's pitted either, so he's in a pretty terrible position right now. Volker in 9th position, still all over the back of Anderson. He's got the left-hander to make it stick coming up on the back straight, so he could easily make the move stick there. As we look through, as Mackenzie has been overtaken by Carr. This was at Carr's favourite overtaking spot. So was there contact between Mackenzie and Carr? Nope, Carr just dived it down the inside and made it stick. So fair play, it was a good move from Carr. So we're looking at Rick Yan in 11th, trying to get past Glazebrook, and there was contact. I was going to say, if he got away without contact, I would have been surprised. He gets lifted off the ground there, but still can't make it stick, so he's going to have to wait until the front straight to do it. As we look out on board with Yan, he's going to be in the slipstream of the McLaren there. Speaking of slipstream, here is a Volker in the slipstream of Anderson in the Williams. He's just about sticking alongside. I don't think it's enough, is it, to make a move? No, as Volker nearly makes contact. As Yan is now on the inside of Glazebrook into the first corner. He's up into the points once again, into 10th position as Franco Gamba is in the pit. I was going to say, I thought it was Roberto for a second. I was like, he's just pitted. It can't be him again. Nella on his own, and he's extending the gap to Willows. It's 12 seconds now, so Nella's still clearly quicker than Willows, but of course Willows has got Carr for company behind him, and actually Carr's only 14 seconds, so when Willows comes in, he'll obviously come out behind, when Nella comes in, he'll come out behind Carr, for sure, so he'll need to hope that that Willows does him a favour and holds up Carr, although Santok is also still right behind Willows, but he can't obviously go past, because he's been lapped. So, there's contact there between Volker and Anderson, but that's enough for Volker to get through. Another push pass there by Volker, who had enough of Anderson holding him up there, and thought, I need to get past you, mate, so let me through. And so he does make it, and Anderson actually pitting this lap as well. But Volker having enough of him, slowing him down. Here is Pascali down in 18th position, and he's got an issue of some sort. So what has happened to the manner of just seen that Mercedes come through there. So Pascali has the problem in it, and he's going to pull off to the side of the circuit. So it is terminal, and so there we go. Pascali is out of the Spanish Grand Prix, and here is Carr actually caught up to the back of Willows, and as we see coming through, and actually that's where Pascali was slowing down, and look at that. That is very, very cheeky, and Carr just sneaks through there past Joseph Willows. That's a 200 IQ move right there. So Carr now moves up into second place. That's not good for Nella up front. So here's Anderson coming out of the pits, and it drops down to 14th position, or possibly 15th if Memphis gets past, but no, it's going to be 14th. As we look at them coming through the right, as the yellow flag is now gone. So there's Thomas Eddy in 17th. There's Frank Gamma just ahead of him in 16th. And Badgett, if he came up behind him again after his stop, he would not have been happy at all. That is for sure. So here's now turning on the back of Mocho. It doesn't make a stick there. Down into the left-hander there. So now Nella finally comes in for his first stop of the race. It's been a while. So clearly he's obviously going to come up behind Carr. So Carr will take the lead. But let's just see how far Nella will come up behind Carr. So actually, Carr's already gone past. And wow, so he's going to have a huge gap, is Carr. And so the question is, will he come out in traffic? So Nella will come up behind Willows, but he'll have plenty of clear air, unless Mackenzie's actually come out ahead of him as well. So Nella comes out in 4th position, is it? He's got a manner that he's got a lap, and then he'll have Mackenzie in a few laps time, I reckon, because Mackenzie has not pitted yet. But he does come out in 4th, so he's not in a bad position, Nella, but at the moment Carr, I think, is probably in the best position, I think, let's say. Renault Moichin into the pits for Williams. I think this is his first stop, and
No
it
pressure.
will not be his only stop. He'll be pitting once more, so interesting. I think that was now Turner. I think it just come into the pits as well for Renault, and yes, it was. And so let's see where he comes out of the pits, as there was Mocho, who'd also pitted the same lap as well. I didn't realise. So Mocho comes out in 11th, comes out behind Byrne, who's in the back into the points now. Michael Mocho in 12th position, comes out ahead of Franco Lopez, which is important for him. So Lopez obviously still recovering from the incident with Sontag on the first lap, which has pretty effectively ruined his race. I think that's the best way to say it. Here is Mackenzie, and there is Anderson making a move on the inside of Byrne into turn 1. Just goes past him very easily, although Byrne is pitting this lap actually. So Byrne, who'd only just got into the points as well, having to pit again. So 3 stop has not worked for him at all. So it's been a pretty disastrous race so far for Evan Byrne. It all went. It spiraled from the start. Made a bad start, dropped down to 9th, got up to 8th, but unfortunately got held up after his first stop, and that's all it is really. As Franco Lopez and now Tiernan are battling here for 13th position, lucky or unlucky for some. And Lopez so far has been unlucky, so he's considering what happened to him on the first lap. So Glazebrook in 50, looking at these two battling in front of them. But they come up towards the back straight. So here's Mackenzie in 3rd. I don't know where Nella is. Is he close behind or not? I'm not entirely sure. He comes through turn 3, the long right-hander, which in these current Formula 1 cars you could take flat out before. And speaking of Nella, there he is. And so he doesn't make a stick there, but he needs to get past ASAP because he needs to get back up to car. So the gap is 16 seconds to car. So he's definitely, that's roughly about what it was when they went in. So as Jan has come into the pits for Force India, Nella can't make a stick there. He needs to get past Mackenzie ASAP if he wants any hope of still winning this race, which he obviously has a chance to, but his teammate might accidentally scupper that. So onto the back straight. Nella doesn't make it stick. He's not going to do it. He's going to swap to the inside, is he? Does he make it? No, he's going to have to wait until the back straight now to make it through. Well, the back straight, that's the front straight I should say. He tried the back straight. Now going to try it on the front. So as we come through the long right header, heading into the chicane, which I make no effort to take away my displeasure at this chicane. I think it's terrible as they come onto the front straight. Now Nella surely is going to make the move into turn 1. He's on fresher tyres, slipstream. Now he's on to the inside of Mackenzie, and yep, I think he's going to have this move done. Mackenzie's not going to bother putting up a fight at all, and he's going to make it through up into P3. So now he's got a few seconds to Willows in front, so Willows will probably hold him up as well. But if he gets past him quickly, then you never know. As now Tiernan has made it past Franco Lopez, Glazebrook tries it as well, but can't make it through. But Lopez will be pitting soon anyway. Anderson in 9th, there's Moitin in 8th. Both Williams currently in the points right now, which is good for them. Jan all over the back of Mocho. These two have been in a battle throughout a fair amount of this race. So Jan, is he going to have the slipstream on Mocho? I think he is just about. Yep, he's in the slipstream. But I think it might be a bit late. Over 325 kilometers an hour, nearly 330, as Mocho did briefly jink to the right, but didn't make it stick. Car at the moment comfortable out in the lead. And he's going to be pitting in a few laps time as well. So I imagine when he pits, he'll go to the end, as Lopez has lost a position to Glazebrook, making a mistake coming through turn 1 there, or turns 1, 2 and 3. So Gamba tries it as well, and he can't make it stick through the corner. So as Gamba is going to have to wait until probably the back straight to make the move. There's Tomaselli in 17th, Sontag in 18th. So as here's Nella, who's already caught up to the Willows, and he's going to go past him pretty easy. So there we go. So Nella passes Willows on the inside there. So now he's up into P2. So now he's got to just really go for it at the moment, because Car's going to be pitting in a few laps time, and I imagine he'll go to the end. Nella will of course be pitting later on as well, but Car will come up behind Nella, so it's going to be actually quite interesting last end of the race, last quarter of the race, I think, once all these guys have made their stops. Willows, who is really struggling with that amount of fuel he's got in his car. And speaking of cars, Jones is off and he's out of the race, and I don't know if that was an incident or if it was a mechanical failure. So there's a wheel that is in the middle of the track there, and it was a puncture as a matter of fact. That is Jones out. He was running in pretty much last anyway, and he pulls off coming through turn 4. So he pulls off to the side and goes into the gravel. So that's his race over. Had a few retirements so far. As there was the Ferrari coming through there, I thought the Ferrari was going to hit it there. As here is the McLaren of Roberto Gamba coming through. Oh, and he has hit debris. I don't think he hit the wheel. I think he hit something else. There obviously must have been a bit more. There must have been another part of the wing, I guess, that probably stayed on the track. But Roberto Gamba, unfortunately, hitting the wing there, and actually Moichin does as well, but doesn't get any damage. So unfortunately for Roberto Gamba, he is lost out big time there. So Moichin, who hits the wing and loses control of the car, and does he save it? Yeah, he does. That's a good save. So Roberto Gamba comes in, he'll be pretty gutted with that. So I wonder if he'll try and go to the end, although it might be a tough ask actually. Still got half the race left to go, pretty much. So Roberto Gamba, does he go to the end? No, he doesn't. So you tyres, you wing. So let's see. So it'll be. I think that's pretty much eliminated his chance of points, I would think, from this race. And speaking of cars coming in, car is in the pits. So now the gap to Nella is 20 seconds. So I think Nella will come out, will be ahead. But obviously the crucial thing is, car will be on fresher tyres, and yet car's coming through the pits. And I think Nello's got the problem for Nella is he's got traffic. So Nella does come out in front, but he's got these two salvers here of Tomaselli and Sontag fighting, which is exactly what he doesn't want. He needs to clear these two ASAP and hope they hold each other up. As here's Volker on the back of Mackenzie and Nella's teammate. So this is important for Nella. He needs to keep Carr behind him. Pretty much. Well, he has to keep him behind him. He's got no other choice until he stops. Because otherwise, Carr's, if he gets past Carr, then he's pretty much won this race. Because I don't see Nella being able to close up the gap. But we'll see as Volker does pass Mackenzie in a very unusual place. You don't see many cars overtaking there, but Volker, fair play to him, he makes the move stick. So there we are. So now Lopez comes in. So I don't know if he'll still get points or not, but
okay, no pressure.
You never know.
Just prepare yourself
as he comes in, tyres change. He'll go to the end. So 6.4 seconds stop there. So he comes out in 16th, but of course he will be going to the end. The rest of them will not. And Force Indians definitely have shown pace this season. We saw obviously Rick Yan, his performance last time out in Russia, getting second after having a nice battle with Miklos Gau. So Nella at the moment leading, but Carr is, you could just see him in the corner there. So Carr's got past the traffic. So he's got past it quite quickly. He's down to 1.3. So Carr is coming. So Nella's got quite a few laps until he pits, but he needs to hold Carr, I say, until he pits really. I mean, he did it with Gau with heavy fuel, so he could do it with Carr. Although Carr is on much fresher tyres than Nella is, so this is pretty much the race deciding battle right here that is about to come up. And Carr, look at how much he's closing. It must be about a second now. He's just closing up so much. So as we come towards the, let's see the gap between the two, and comes through, and it must be about a second. There's no way it can be more than a second. As McKenzie has come out in 8th position, so that's good for him. Rick Yan right behind Mackenzie. Will he try and make the move into turn 4? And no, he doesn't, so he can't make a stick there. So he says behind Mackenzie haven't pitted, and I imagine he'd be going to the end. Look at that, Carr is now already on the back of Nella. Now this is crucial. This is very important for Nella. He has to keep behind. He has to keep Carr behind. He has to keep the car behind. No pun intended. Otherwise, he won't win this race. That is, it's as simple as that, really. We're not beating around the bush. As Volker is just coming to the pits on the bottom of your screen there, and Joel Harter actually is in 5th position. And he's 19 seconds ahead of Moichin here. So, wow. So I mean, I think that could be an actual legitimate position for Harter. He's actually moved up into P4, so we've not seen that this race, and that is quite surprising, I have to say. As Volker now comes out from his pit box, and he doesn't go to the end. No, so that is quite surprising. I thought he would. Quite a few cars have, so I am surprised he hasn't, but there we go. So Hutter right now running in P4, but of course he'll be pitting once more. Tomaselli 18th. I mean, You might as well retire the car now, as Moichin comes out ahead. Does he of Volker? Yes, he does. And Volker doesn't come out ahead of Moichin, although it's still side by side, and actually he might do. And he actually does, so he does come out ahead of Moichin, which is important for Volker. And so, yep, and he's ahead. Good, important for Volker. He needed to stay ahead there of Moichin. I thought Moichin might have done it around the outside there, but he didn't. And as I said, it's important for Volker to keep that position, or to get that position, because he actually had come up behind him, and he just about kept it on the inside. Obviously, even though it's on cold tyres, you have to be careful, but he managed to make it stick. Fair play to Volker. Now here is the battle once again for P1. Nella in P1, Car in P2. Of course, they'll both be pitting before the end, although Nella will be pitting sooner, as Roberto Gamba has got an issue, and his race is over, and he pulls off. And fortunately, I was going to say, if he lost a wheel there, right in front of Nella and Car, then wow, chaos was about to go down. But Roberto Gamba retires. That's his race over on lap. How many laps have we got to go? We've got 25 laps left of this race, so there we go. Whose wheel it was for him. So Roberto Gamba, he had it down the straight, so unfortunately just gone past the pits, so that was pretty unfortunate for him. And yeah, that's his race over and out, done and dusted, so there we go. So he went through, managed to go through first sector of the lap pretty much with that loose wheel, but unfortunately he was never really going to go much further than that. So Byrne is ahead of him in 14th, and Byrne, I mean, it's been a pretty disastrous race for him as well, because that 3-stop has not worked for him at all. So there we go. So Roberto Gamba's race is over. Now let's swap back to the battle at the front, please. So let's see if and here is Joel Hutter, actually, who's on the back of Joseph Willows, and I think this is actually for position. And Hutter is going to make it past, is he? I think, has he got the run? I'm not sure. He's going to be on the outside, but will he make it through on the inside? He's going to go around the outside, and Joel Hutter is on the podium for Haas. Who would have thought that from this Grand Prix? Although, I mean, it isn't for and this actually, I mean, to be honest, that actually is a battle for position there, because Hutter's got a similar amount of fuel left in his car compared to Willows. But now that is actually quite interesting. So Hutter could actually possibly be in with a shout at the podium here. That's actually quite unbelievable. Wow, I'm actually stunned. I mean, Hutter has put in an unbelievable performance so far. I mean, people was thinking, would he do well, because he had a pretty average season in GP2 last season, but he did enough to get a seat for F1, so I don't think he really cared about that. But still, so far he's proving everyone wrong in this race. So Willows comes in for his first and only stop. It must have been so painful on those tyres. So he's going to come out, looks like just outside the points. He's going to come up behind the, I think that was the Toro Rosso, I think it was a Michael Mocho. So Glazebrook right now into P12, he'll be pitting before the end as well. So crucially for Willows, he will be in clear air, so that's important for him. So Hutter needs to really perform on these. Carr has taken the lead, and Carr has taken the lead of the race, and that might have been the move that decides the race right there. And oh my word, that was ruthless, absolutely ruthless there from Carr. Nella, and look at the time Nella lost off track there. So I think that might have just won Carr the race right there. I really think so. Oh my word. There's going to be words in the paddock after that one, that's for sure. As we look at Mackenzie all over the back of Anderson. Into the first corner, Anderson goes wide again. He did this earlier on. Goes wide on the curb, but fortunately doesn't do a Roque Gal-esque type, or doesn't cause a Roque Gal-esque type of crash there. And that, but fortunately is now Jan, although he's all over the back of Anderson. Doesn't make it up into P7 there. As we look at Willows, who's closing up to the top 10 at the moment. So I'm going to be fascinated to see, I mean, because Hutter at the moment is on his own. Volker is going to the, well, he'll be pitting once more as well. So Hutter actually is on for the podium here. He really is on for the podium at this moment in time, Joel Hutter. And he's shown unbelievable pace, so fair play to him. As we're looking at Mackenzie, so we've got 20 laps to go. Moichin ahead of him in P5. Jan all over the back of the Williams there. Willows makes it past Mocho there, so good move by the Brit past his fellow Brit. So wow, let's have a look at it again. So Willows went to the right and then just jinked to the left and made it through there. Good move there by Willows, so made it stick, so fair play to him. So now Joel Hutter actually has come in, and this will be his final stop. He was on the 3 or the 2 stop. I think it was the 2 stop, I believe. I don't think it was 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the 2, so fair play to Hutter. He's done very, very well indeed, so there we go. So as we look at Hutter changing all 4 tyres and coming through, so Mackenzie's going to come out ahead of him. I don't think Mackenzie actually has to pit again, so I think actually Mackenzie might be on for the podium here actually. I did kind of forget about him, but where is Hutter coming out compared to the Ferraris? And he is just going to come out behind Willows, so that pit stop by Willows, or his only pit stop, has actually helped him, I suppose you could say, jump Hutter. So Hutter needs to get past Willows ASAP, and he's not got the quicker car, but he needs to get past him now if he wants any chance of getting the podium here, as Willows is on the back of now Tiranen, and he can't make a stick here, but now that's allowing Hutter to close up on the fresh tyres. So here we go, we have got a battle on our hands for the podium. So as we're looking through, look at this battle, it's Julius Anderson, the one at the head of this train, who's holding these guys up at the moment, as Willows is back on the back of now Tiranen. So Nella has come into the pits for his final stop of the race, so, and the car is pitching I think a few laps later, so yeah, Nella will be going to the end, but at the moment it's looking pretty good for Armar Car. I mean, that move he did on Nella, and I think he's bumped him twice out the way this race, as Willows tried it on now Tiranen there, and here's Joel Hutter right behind him now due to that well, that attempt of a move. But Hutter needs to get it done now. If he doesn't get it done now, then the chance of the podium is gone for him, but he'll still get a great result, as all the cars slowing down as one of the carriages stops at its station. That was Anderson, I believe, who's come in for his final stop of the race. As we're looking at Hutter, who's not on the slipstream of Willows, because Willows is on the slipstream of now Tiranen in the Renault. He's on the inside, and does he make a stick? And yes, that's important for Willows. Now Hutter needs to get past now Tiranen very quickly, and he could do it at turn 4 possibly, if he has the balls to do it. He needs to get it done now, ASAP. And does he do it? No, I don't think he does. So there we go. So as Nello's coming out, oh no, actually Nello's come up behind Volker as well. Actually, that's not good for Nello. He needed to come out ahead of Volker really, but I don't think. I mean, I think Carl's comfortably got the gap anyway at the front, so I don't think it really matters, to be honest, at this point. When you think about it, when you put all these statistics together. So Volker obviously will be pitting once more before the end. He'll be pitting in I think a few laps time, so he'll have fresher tyres compared to everyone else, as Willows once again jinks the right left and goes past Rick Yan. Meanwhile, Hutter has still not got past now Tiranen, so I think his podium chances, Hutter, are slipping away. Another great move there by Willows on the inside of Yan. Went to the right and just jinked to the left, and Yan just didn't see it coming. He really got played there. As we're looking at Hutter now on the back of now Tiranen coming down the front straight, and Hutter finally looks set to make the move on the Thai driver into turn 1. And does he do it? Yes, he makes it up into 8th position. Now he's got the Force India of Yan in front of him for 7th to get past. Now Willows is really scything his way, he's carving his way, and he's going to do it again. Again! That's like the third time in a row he's done that move, and he moves up into the top 5 now, past Reda Moitin. So yeah, I don't think Hutter's got any chance now, unless he could do what Willows is doing, but it's just too easy. It's just reading them like a book. And yeah, there we are, so good move there, as now actually Florian Volker will be coming into the pits, and Willows actually, Nella I should say, not actually close up to the back of him, so Nella I don't think has got the pace, and the gap was I think 37 seconds, and oh, there's a car failure, and Mocho's car is up in smoke, and to quote your favourite singer, well it's not on it, well I won't say it yet unless it actually does it, but no, it's still smoking, but his race is over, unfortunately, Mocho. It was a decent race for Mocho, but unfortunately it is over. And he's going to pull off to the side of the circuit right about now, is he? He's just going past the old layout of the circuit, and yes, he's pulling off onto the old layout, and that's his race over with just 14 laps to go. So much as race is done. So Volker's come out obviously behind Nella, so actually, would he come out ahead of Willows? And oh, we might come ahead of Mackenzie here. Hold on. Oh, and will he do it? No, Mackenzie's just stayed ahead. But crucially for Volker and also and for Willers behind, they're going to be on much fresher tyres. So Mackenzie's going to have his work cut out as Moitian comes out of his pit box for the final time, as does Glazebrook for McLaren. So there we go. So as actually Almacana comes in for his final stop, and he's going to come out way ahead. And then there's Glazebrook. Oh dear, I think that's eliminated any chance he's got of any points. Glazebrook, he got held up badly, having to wait for Carr to go by there. And Carr will come out in the lead of this race by a very comfortable margin, as there is Nella actually just coming through the final corner. So Carr has pretty much won this, unless he makes a severe error, which, I mean, is possible. But who knows, as Hutter is really aggressively passing Jan there. He needs to get that done though. But Willows and Volker are closing up to the back of Jay Mackenzie. So there we go. As we look at Hutter, he really was not... Oh, how there wasn't contact there, I don't know. Fair play to Hutter though, he's performed exceptionally well today. He's now up into P6. As now this is the battle for the podium, this is the battle. So Mackenzie trying to defend from Volker, he's now on the inside, and Volker's done it, just like that. So Volker is now up into P3, and now he's going to be under pressure from Willows, is Mackenzie. So he's really going to have his work cut out to hold off... he failed to hold off one fry, and actually Volker did the move that Willows done. So, you know, learning from his teammates, that's good good teamwork there. Rick Yan coming into the pits for the final time late on for Force India. He's done quite a bit of overtaking today and been overtaken a lot as well.
Just prepare yourself
so,
for the first gear.
Changes all 4 tyres. Quick stop, 6.5. So where's he going to come out on track? He's obviously behind Hutter, behind Anderson, down in 8th position, and he's going to come out, looks like behind the Williams of Moichin, does he? It's going to be pretty close coming towards turn 1. And is Moichin going to get it? Yes. Has he got the position side by side? Nope, he's got it. He's moved up into, well, he's stayed ahead of Jan in 9th, as Almar flexing his muscles up front, has just hit the fastest lap of the race. Now Willows on the inside of Mackenzie, and he's through. So unfortunately Mackenzie, he tried his best, but the 2 Ferraris just are quicker than him today, and unfortunately his strategy has not worked out particularly well. So there we go. As you can see the move of Willows once again on the side of Mackenzie. Good move there by the driver there. Nello's coming up to this battle between Lopez and Glazebrook, and well, he won't be coming out to... Oh, as Lopez goes wide, has he made it through Glazebrook? Yes, he has, and Nello's sneaked through past as well. But Lopez could easily have a chance of getting him back later on, because of in a little bit anyway, because Nello's going to have to lap him too. We've got a battle brewing for 7th here between Anderson and now Tyrrell. Anderson, who is to take his first points of the season at the moment. He's had a pretty terrible... Well, he has had an awful season so far. It's not his fault. He's been on terrible strategies, so unfortunately for him, it's not been his season so far. Jan trying it on Moitian for 9th, doesn't make a stick, and Frank Gambra is actually not far away either, in 11th position, so he could get himself involved in this battle here if they're not careful. But Jan will want to get past Moitian quickly because he's on fresher tyres, and he won't want to be stuck behind the Williams for too long. So as we come through towards the back straight, will he make the move for 9th place here? So he's in the slipstream. Would he do the well, I'll say the Willows-esque move, I'll say the Ferrari move, and no, he doesn't. No, well, now Tyrrell is out. And now Tyrrell is out of this race. Oh no! And with just 8 laps to go, he is out of this Grand Prix. It's a shame, and I suppose in a way, I kind of jinxed him. I said he was coming up to the back of Anderson, and his transmission couldn't handle it. So he's retired from the Spanish Grand Prix. So he was coming up to the back of Anderson on the straight, and there it goes, right there. So pretty gutting for now, Tyrrell, and he's deserved. He's performed well, but he has, I think, still deserved more results than he's had so far. But there we go. That's his race over with just 8 laps left. Now this is actually Joel Hutter, who's on the back of Mackenzie. This is the battle for P5. Hutter could still have a top 5 here. He's now on the inside of Mackenzie towards turn 1. No, not there, not quite. and he's going to have to wait a few more corners to make the move, I think. As we look at Tomaselli, who's got an issue, and oh dear, he might as well just retire the car. He's not gonna. He's plumb last, and he's gonna stay last with the position he's in. So, just really no point in continuing. I don't think. Just really no point. Tomaselli comes in. Franco Gamba in 10th now, so he's in the points. Moitin obviously up to 8th. Jan up to 9th. Hutter, who has dropped a bit off Mackenzie actually for some reason. So I don't know what's happened to Hutter there. So this was obviously the replay of Hutter attempting to pass Mackenzie through turns 1 and 2, and that's why. So just after the camera went away, Hutter made a mistake there. So that's why he's dropped off the back of Mackenzie. So oh dear, there we go. So Hutter has lost the time, and I don't know if that's eliminated his chance of getting Mackenzie here. I think he can still easily close up. And Jan, ooh, I thought he was about to run into the back of Moitin there, but he does finally make the move for P8. He's been waiting several laps to do that, probably about, I think the last 10 laps, I think he's been wanting to make the move. And he's finally done it, pretty much actually, to be honest, he's done it at the right time. That is for sure. As we're now on to the final lap, it seems like this race has gone on forever. Anyway, it's been pretty entertaining though. Carr has got a 22-second lead over the back of Nella in front of him. So that's just the pace that he's had so far this race. So there we go. Nella in second, Volker in third, Willers is in fourth, Mackenzie still in 5th place at this moment in time. I don't know if Hutter's actually closed up to the back of him or not. Hutter is he's still a little bit off, but I think he's still got, I think, the whole lap to do it really, whereas Carr is about to finish the race. So as we look at the Red Bull coming through, Carr, he's had a great battle with Nella so far this race. He was started low down in the order, but he's performed very well, Carr, I have to say. Done exceptionally well to win this race. Had the battle with Nella. I mean, you could say he was dirty, but I suppose he needed to do what he needed to do to win this race. As Amakar comes round the final corner for the 66th and final time, and Amakar is going to win the Spanish Grand Prix and take his and Red Bull's second victory of the season. What a performance by Carr. And I'm just seeing Hutter has passed Mackenzie for P5 on the graphics below there. So Hutter has done it, and he has finally done it. And Mackenzie's down to 6th. As we look at the rest of the order coming through, there's Jan, Moitin and Gamba coming through. Nella will take 2nd place. 2 pole positions so far for Nella this season. No wins as of yet. He's getting closer, but so far just been outdone. Carr, I think, is the one that's outdone him in both times he's had pole, I believe. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Willers who did it the first time round. So Tomaselli comes across the line in 15th. Florian Volker, he'll be very happy with P3. Lopez P12, obviously from the instant earlier in the race. Evan Byrne, not just... I don't know what to say really. I mean, unfortunately, the strategy didn't work at all, and so he's down in 13th. I can't believe he was that far down as well. A finish behind Lopez as well. That is quite surprising, to be honest. Sontag will come across the line in P14, a day to forget for Salva. As coming behind them, Joel Hutter. What a performance! P5, unbelievable. And this was it. This was actually coming on to the final lap. So this was obviously just ahead of when Carl came across the line to finish. So Hutter just had the pace and had the speed and had the fresher tyres, obviously, as well, to make it through on the inside of Mackenzie. So there we go. And so what a performance by him. But there is your race winner, Amar Carr, winning the race, 1 hour and 31 minutes. That's quite long for Spain, I think. I always felt quicker before. But here's the full race results anyway. Amakar leading and winning the race, ahead of Wunella in 2nd, Florian Volker 3rd, Joseph was 4th, Hutter 5th, Mackenzie 6th, the last one, the lead lap as well, Anderson 7th, Jan 8th, Redemunchin 9th, and Franco Gamba 10th, completing the points. Oliver Glazebrook in 11th position for McLaren, Amakar also setting the fastest lap of the race as well, 121.057. Franco Lopez, Evan Byrne, Felix Sontag, and Paulino Tomaselli completing the finishes, with now Turnen, Mocho, Roberto Gamba, Jones, Pascali Roque, and Gal, the cars who did not finish this race. So now time for the points and the constructor standings after what was a pretty good round actually in Spain. So Willers leading by 15 points ahead of Carr, Volker up into 3rd, Nella up into 4th, Gal down to 5th having retired, Rick Jan up to 6th place, Franco Lopez 7th, Jamie Mackenzie 8th, Michael Mocho 9th, and now Tiernan in 10th, with Joel Hutter with his 5th place moving all the way up to 11th, having only scored 1 point. He then scores 10 more, to go up to 11. Fred Gamble also on 11. In 12th, Evan Byrne, George Roke, Julius Anderson with his first points of the season moving up to 15th. Tomaselli, Moitin, Gamba, Sontag, Jones, and so far it's only Glazebrook and Pascali that have yet to score a point so far this season. So now we'll take a look at the constructors' standings. Ferrari still leading ahead of Red Bull in 2nd. Mercedes moving up to 3rd, moving past Force India. Toro Rosso in 5th, Renault 6th, Haas 7th, Williams in 8th, Sauber in 9th, McLaren 10th, and Manor 11th. Of course, Haas moving up to Williams moving up to 8th, having got a double points finish for the first time this season. So there we go. That's been the Spanish Grand Prix. Pretty entertaining race, I have to say, for Spain. It's usually quite boring. Hope you guys enjoyed though. Don't forget to, as usual, vote for your driver of the day. I give the race a rating out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you for the next round of the Monaco Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you there.